Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to film for you my updated foundation routine. This is all a drugstore as well, so it's nice and affordable. I haven't done this in quite a long time and I've definitely changed up some stuff. So if you want to know exactly what I do to get my face looking from this to this, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I have already showered, which is why my hair is always a mess. Not necessarily a mess. My hair never is done. When I film, I generally always film right after I get out of the shower, and I'm just not going to do my hair right away, you know? I don't know. So anyways, that's why my hair always looks like this. And I did already go in with my skincare routine. If you are interested in knowing what my pre-foundation skincare routine is, hit that like button, give me a comment, just let me know somehow. I have no problem filming that for you. Just let me know. So having said that, what we're going to do now is first of all go in with under eye cream. I always do this right before so that it's got enough time to sink in, and I will link my drugstore favorites below. I think it was in that one. I'll link the corresponding video. My favorite under eye cream is the L'Oreal Eye Defense. This is just so perfect. It's a gel under eye cream, and so it really sinks into my skin. It provides the perfect barrier between my skin and other products, and because it's that gel, it sinks into my skin quickly and doesn't leave any creasing. I can't use anything super thick under my eyes before makeup because I will crease a ton. So this is just the perfect formula. So always put that on underneath my foundation. Once that's on, we're going to go in with primers. Now I do use two different primers. That is a little bit extra, I know. However, both of these primers do different things. So the first one I'm going to go in with is the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. I need this because I need my skin to look more radiant, especially in these cold, dry winter months. Your skin just loses something. So adding this will provide a really nice, gorgeous glow. And you can also, of course, mix this in with your foundation. I choose not to just because I want it to be kind of there but not there. So I take one full pump of this and I'm going to work it into my fingers just a little bit. See how pretty it is? And I'm going to focus this on the outer section of my face only. The reason I do this is, again, because I want that gorgeous luminosity peeping through. You see how pretty that is? It's just so gorgeous. And you really can see it through your foundation, especially depending on how many products you put on top. But even though I always go in with foundation and I set it with a bunch of different powders and stuff, you can still see this. Like, it's just got such beautiful luminous glow to it. And I only put it on the outer perimeters of my face because it has that glow. I don't really want it anywhere near where I get oily or have a lot of pores. So I avoid my whole T-section for the most part. I mean, if it gets on there, it does, but I'm not purposefully putting it there, you know what I mean? So we're just going to work that in and just kind of tap it out. You can just see, I mean, that just wakes up your skin so much. It's so pretty. Okay, and then for the second primer, this is a mattifying primer. So I definitely need this in my life because I need to make sure that my pores are filled in, that they are mattified, and that I stay nice and perfect looking all day long. So I still love the Milani Instant Touch Up. This is one of those glue stick like bobs, and I just paint it right on my problem areas, and then I'm going to tap it into my skin. Now the reason you want to tap this kind of stuff in is because it is that blurring, also pore filling product, and if you're just going to rub it on, it's going to sit over everything and it's not going to be able to sit in, sink in, and do its job. So you want to make sure that with products like this, you're going right back in and pressing it into the skin. Okay, and then right up here as well. A little bit right there. Now, I am a beauty blender girl. I only use beauty sponges. I will barely ever use a brush. If I use a brush, it's, you know, not often. So anyways, I'm going to go with my Morphe Beauty Sponge. I actually been really liking this. It's nice because it's got a very pointed edge, so it's good to get right up in these tough spots. And this side for your concealer gets right in there perfectly. So this is a really good sponge. And for foundation, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Super Stay. This has become my new absolute favorite, my new ride or die, my new holy grail. I still really love the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, but there is such a difference between these two foundations. And when I use this one, I'm always thinking to myself, like, why didn't I use this one? Like, I really love this one so much more. So I'm just going to put it right on the back of my hand. 1, 2, 3. Aha. Okay. So this beauty sponge has 2 flat sides. I use the one that's shorter. I don't think you can see a difference on camera, but this side is a little bit longer in that little circle thing, and this side is shorter. So I use the shorter side, and I kind of bunch it like that. That's just what I do. And I'm going to go in and start to pounce this all over the face. You want to make sure that you are working in pouncing, patting motions, not rubbing motions. This is what's going to give you the most coverage and have it blend out the most seamlessly. Always make sure as well that you're getting your ears and down your neck, but I'm going to come back and do that in just a second, so have no fear. But see how like this line right here, it just gets right up in this area so easily. Oh my god. That looks so funny on camera. It looks a little green yellow, but it's not. I promise you the color match on here is really, really nice for my skin, but I think it's just all the lights. Okay, and then we're gonna go in and do this side. You wanna really take your time when you're blending in your foundation. You wanna make sure that it's seamlessly sinking into your skin so it looks like your skin, not like something that's on top of your skin. Take your time with all of this blending process. And if you're somebody who likes to use brushes, that's perfectly fine. Use a brush first and take your time with that swirling, tapping, buffing kind of motions. I just always would recommend going back over everything with a beauty sponge just to get off any streaky marks that could be there, any brush strokes, and just clean everything over. This will also remove excess product. Okay, and then I always kind of get like red right here on camera, again because of my lights. So I'll use a little bit extra and I'll just start to work this into this red area. You see that just like instantly took everything off. Just want to be careful if you do this that you're not putting clothes right on top, because obviously this is going to transfer right on off if you've got it touching stuff. So just be careful with your clothes. Okay, so that is the foundation on. You can see my skin just looks nice, smoothed over. Everything is flowing nicely. Again, favorite foundation. Love this stuff so much. So now we're going to go in with concealer. For concealer, I love, love, love the Maybelline Age Rewind. I have the color Neutralizer. This is a yellow based, and I'm going to set that with my Flower Beauty powder. This is in the color LO1. And I will show you, but I'm just going to tell you, I use this Real Techniques brush. It's kind of got like a triangular point, and what I'm going to do is use this to immediately set right under the eyes, and I want to make sure that my powder is ready to go in with that because I don't want any creasing. But I do my under eyes last. So this is just a twist up top, and I put like that much there and there. That's it. And you also kind of just want to give this a second to sink in. That way you're blending out product that's a little bit dry. It just blends out a little bit more easily, in my opinion. If you blend it out directly when it's still wet, it's going to get a lot more places. I feel like when you just let it dry for a second, it's more likely to stay in that little section, oops, and not start going wider. So this is the side that I use my foundation on. I'm going to use the point right above that, so that way I can go back and forth if I need to blend out those edges with a little bit more foundation, but not use any excess foundation. And I start down here. I'm gonna push this right into the skin. And you can see like now taking up basically my whole chin area from down. So use the foundation side and buff out those edges, so it's more concentrated of a concealer spot. I don't put concealer down my nose anymore. Well, the reason behind that is I found that my foundation was lifting and everything was just looking too separated whenever I was putting it down. So what I do now instead is just lighten my nose when I go in to do my under eye concealer. If anything happens to peek on over, that's perfectly fine, but I don't put actual product down. And then also when I set everything with a powder, I make sure to use the lighter powder, whatever I'm using to set my concealer with, so that way it is still lightened and brightened, but it doesn't have product that's going to be starting to lift it off, you know. So always want to make sure that you're blending out those edges. See how bright that looks? Okay, for the under eye area, I don't use a ton of product, and we're going to focus it like that. What I want to do is get my brush immediately ready. So I'm going to dip the brush in, tap off all the excess, and that way I only have product like that. And I want to make sure this is ready, set, go, because when I'm ready to set this, I want to set it immediately. So again, I just pinch this little guy, and we're going to start to blend this in. When you are blending out concealer, I don't recommend going like that and having your under eye wrinkles, your under eye creases exaggerated. I'd rather go over it when they are rested, because you're sitting there and you're going to be talking to people and you're going to be going throughout your day like this. You know what I mean? So I don't like to set and accentuate those under eye circles, those under eye wrinkles, I mean. So I'm going to go ahead and just tap this in, tap it out like with a normal face. And slowly start to bring it down in that general V. Flip it over and take care of any of those lines that are getting a little bit crazy. You always want to go in a back and forth motions like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Take your time blending this out. And see what I mean? Like, I don't put any product on my nose, but it ends up going onto it. And that's fine. Okay, and then when we're ready, take that and we're going to lightly tap that powder just where creasing happens. That's it. Just like that. We'll come back to the other side now. Okay, so now I'm going to use the beauty sponge and a little bit more of my powder, and I'm going to just very lightly start to tap this into where I have the concealer on. And I'm not baking, I'm not putting an excess amount, I'm using just enough, and I'm pressing it into the skin. Okay, except for the nose, I go in with extra product. You guys know my nose is an issue area for me. Product lifts, it doesn't last as long, so I use an excess amount here. And then whatever is also excess, I will set the rest of my under eye area. I'm really trying to press this into the skin so that it is all one, not an excess amount. I am somebody who also sets the rest of my face, so I'm going to go in with the NYX No Filter powder. And this brush from Maybelline, it's the Maybelline powder brush. You can see it's nice and angled, but it's super densely packed, which is good because I want to make sure that this powder is sitting in the skin, not on top of it. So just get a little bit, and I'm going to start working that all over the rest of my face. Anywhere that I have foundation down, I want to make sure that I'm setting. Brush and just brush all of that together to make sure any excess powder is taken off of the face. So that is the face base. My camera needs to cool down, cool out, chill out. I need to eat, so I'm gonna let that happen and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So everything has cooled down. Now what we're going to do is go in with the first layer of setting spray, and I use the Mario Badescu. I like to do this after all of that is done so that this can sink in, set, and kind of blend together. So I just use a couple sprays of this. That's it. No more than that for now. and I'm going to start getting ready for contouring and all of that. So for bronzing up my face, I'm going to use my Profusion Contour Kit. Now this one is super messy. It's broken up all over the place on me, but I will go in with this color right here, which is the medium contour. So I use a big fluffy Sigma brush. This is a Sigma large powder F30. It's giant, it's fluffy, it's densely packed. It's just a really great brush. And I kind of get it together because if you can see, the pan sizes are a little bit funky, and with a big brush like this, it's easy to accidentally get into the wrong shade. So I kind of smush my brush down, get it thin, and I'm going to start getting that medium contour on my brush. You can kind of barely see it. I don't use too much. I like to start low or small and then start to build up. So just a little bit of that product. Start to tap this on the outer perimeters of my face. You're going to notice I do tappings. Tap, 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 tap. I don't start rubbing. So I always kind of just start up here. These colors, they blend together so nicely. They're so blendable and creamy. It's a really great, inexpensive powder product. And honestly, I reach for this way over even like my my Kat Von D kit. This is just so good. And it's so much more affordable, you know? So you want to work in that big kind of 3 motion, but I do things section by section. So forehead first, then cheeks, then we'll move on down. And I'll show you right now because I think I'm happy with how bronzy I'm looking. I'm going to go back in with that dual fiber brush and just blend out those edges. You can just see how much better that looks. So much better. So now it's time for highlight, blush, and that'll be it for on camera. So to do my blush first, and I have been back into my Morphe E4 brush, this guy right here, to do my blush. And I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution blush kit. And so I'm just going to go in, how does this work? I'm going to go in with, I think these 2 shades at the bottom here, and just lightly tap my brush in both of these, and then I kind of do that because these are pigmented. You don't need a lot. Barely tap in, and then this is like the only time I ever suggest actually tapping off your brush. Normally I don't. I hate that so much. I don't like wasting products, but for this I can. And I'm just going to brush that on the apples of my cheeks. Are just so pigmented. So pretty. So pretty. And don't worry, I always put on kind of a lot of blush because I end up dusting a lot of it off. And blush tends to be the first thing on anybody's face that will disappear throughout the day. So I do recommend putting on a little bit more than maybe you would, just so that it lasts. Ooh, on camera that looks so crazy. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry. It's all gonna come together in the end. What I'm going to do now is go in with highlight. For highlight, the Maybelline Master Chrome. This is super duper golden, and it's gorgeous, and it's amazing, and you have to try it. I use a Sigma tapered highlighter F35 brush, and normally I would also spray some MAC Fix Plus on this, but I ran out and have not got more, so swirl my brush in there a little bit, and I'm going to go and pop this on. You see how pretty that is? Oh my god. And then if you were to first spray some of that MAC Fix Plus, it's even more intense. Now, again, this is going to chill out in just a second when we blend everything together, but I personally love highlight, so I don't even mind if it were to stay like this because I think it just looks so pretty. But that's a lot. That's intense. And I clean up this line as well as this crazy blush that I've got going on with the HD setting powder from Ruby Kisses. This stuff is awesome. I've got videos on Ruby Kisses. I'll link them both down below. One of them is my first impressions. One of them is my update on how the products have been working. And this is just a lovely, lovely product. I love it so much. But don't put it near your nose. Only keep it down here. This is what the product looks like again. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my beauty sponge and cut that out. Just like that. And then I also cup my cheeks out. Now we can wipe off of this and also tone down and blend out that highlight. Everything's just more seamless, and I've got a nice cut line right there. I'm going to set all this again with my Mario Badescu spray. I'll go in with a little bit more than I did last time because this is the final like setting. And okay, set that everywhere. Now I'm going to go into the Ruby Kisses Never Touch Up Matte Finish Setting Spray. Again, watch my videos. You're going to know why I use this only in certain sections. But shake this up, and then I'm only going to focus this in the T-zone. And then because this stuff gets so dry, I just go over one more time with this guy. And yeah, your face is going to be very, very wet. So yeah, just wait for that to dry down. What I'm going to do is finish up the rest of the face with the camera. I'm going to do these eyebrows, the lashes, fix up my lips. Alright guys, so this is it. This is my full face done. This is what I do every single time that I sit down and do my makeup. By the way, this is the Illuminate by Ashley Tisdale. I did a fall. This is the color in Bonfire. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. So anyways, so if you guys want to see what my pre-foundation skincare routine is, definitely hit that like button. Let me know down below what else you'd like to see from me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!